Financial Rookie had 7 side hustles, a laptop with 23 browser tabs open, a notebook filled with business ideas, 3 half-finished online courses, a stack of packages he couldn't remember ordering, an untouched cup of coffee that had somehow become tomorrow's coffee. And, after 48 straight hours of chasing easy money, he had earned exactly our $4.73 before taxes. Rookie stared at the number. The number stared back. Neither side seemed particularly impressed. The internet had promised financial freedom. Instead, Rookie had developed eye strain, sleep deprivation, and a very personal relationship with the refresh button. So how did we get here? Well, it started the day Rookie made one innocent search. Last week, Financial Rookie discovered that credit cards weren't free money. Apparently, buying now also meant paying later. Who knew? Certainly not Rookie. The experience was educational, painful, mostly educational because it was painful. After paying off his credit card statement, Rookie made a promise. No more borrowing money. If I want more money, I'll simply earn more. Now, that was an excellent idea. Unfortunately, excellent ideas become dangerous when they meet YouTube recommendations. Because Rookie searched 5 words, best side hustles in 2026, and the internet completely lost its mind. The first video said, make $10,000 every month working just 1 hour a day. The second one said, I became a millionaire using only my laptop. The third claimed, passive income changed my life forever. By the 5th video, Rookie was convinced something strange was happening. Everyone on the internet was rich. Everyone had a Lamborghini. Everyone worked from a beach. Everyone smiled while looking at spreadsheets. Even their coffee looked successful. Rookie looked around his apartment. No Lamborghini. No beach. His coffee had somehow gone cold again. Clearly, he was missing something. The comments made everything worse. This changed my life. I quit my job. Best decision ever. Wish I'd started sooner. Not a single comment said, I lost 3 hours watching this and now I'm confused, which coincidentally was exactly how Rookie felt. Still, there was only one logical conclusion. If everyone else can do it, so can I. Narrator. History would later describe this sentence as optimistic. Rookie grabbed a notebook. Across the top he wrote, mission, become rich. Underneath, he listed every side hustle he just discovered. Freelancing, print on demand, selling digital products, affiliate marketing, online tutoring, reselling, content creation, stock photography, drop shipping. By the time he reached the bottom of the page, he had accidentally written down enough careers for 4 different people. Rookie looked at the list, smiled confidently. How hard can this be? The notebook politely declined to answer. If the first idea seemed brilliant, sell things you don't use anymore. Simple, easy, practically free money. Rookie marched around his apartment looking for treasure. Old headphones, an exercise bike, 3 phone chargers, a chair that made an interesting noise every time someone sat on it. This, Rookie whispered, is inventory. He spent an hour taking photos, another hour writing descriptions, another hour deciding whether slightly used sounded better than enthusiastically experienced. Finally, he clicked publish. Then he waited. 5 minutes. Nothing. 10 minutes. Nothing. 15 minutes. Still nothing. Rookie refreshed the page. Surely. The buyers were just loading. They were not. Eventually, someone sent a message. Rookie smiled. His first customer. The message said, is this still available? Rookie replied within 3 seconds. Yes. Silence. Hours passed. Nothing. The buyer had disappeared. Completely. Rookie refreshed the chat. Still nothing. The internet had introduced Rookie to the mysterious species known as people who ask questions and immediately vanish forever. It wouldn't be the last time. No problem. Maybe selling wasn't his talent. The next video promised, make money while you sleep. Now that sounded like Rookie's kind of business. He clicked immediately. The presenter smiled confidently. You only need a website, an audience, an email list, a digital product, a marketing funnel, search engine optimization, advertising, automation software, analytics, brand positioning, content strategy, and consistency. Rookie blinked. This was becoming a surprisingly active form of passive income. Rookie wasn't discouraged, not yet, because according to the internet, if one side hustle didn't work, you simply started another one, preferably before finishing the first. So Rookie opened another tab, and another, and another. Within 10 minutes, his browser looked like it had developed anxiety. 27 tabs, each promising financial freedom, each insisting they were different. They weren't. The next opportunity sounded exciting. Freelancing. Get paid for your skills. Perfect. Rookie created an account, filled out his profile, uploaded a professional-looking photo. Then came the difficult question. Skills. Rookie paused. He definitely had skills, didn't he? He typed, good with computers. Deleted it. Too vague. Fast learner? Deleted it. Hard worker? Deleted it. Finally, he wrote, can use Google very efficiently. He stared proudly at the screen, then slowly realized that wasn't exactly a rare talent. Hours later, a client finally appeared. They needed a logo designed, simple enough, except Rookie had never designed a logo. No problem. The internet had tutorials. 3 hours later, the client politely replied, I appreciate the effort, but this looks more like a potato than our company. Rookie zoomed in. It did look surprisingly potato-like. Still, Rookie refused to give up. Success had to be nearby. Every motivational video said so. You are one decision away from changing your life. You only fail when you quit. Believe in yourself. These sounded wonderful. None of them explained how to convince someone to pay for a potato logo. By Thursday, Financial Rookie had officially become a full-time beginner. He had a freelancing account, a digital product idea, a print-on-demand store, a YouTube channel with one unfinished video, an affiliate marketing spreadsheet, a notebook full of business plans, and exactly the same amount of money he'd started with. Actually, slightly less, because he'd bought software, a domain name, a course, a productivity app, and a notebook titled Think Like a Millionaire. Ironically, when the notebook was the only thing making money for the company that sold it. Rookie sat in silence. He slowly opened his banking app, closed it, opened it again. Still disappointing. Some habits never change. Then, something clicked, not in his business, in his head. He wasn't building one side hustle. He was constantly abandoning one to chase another. Every time things became difficult, the internet offered something easier, and Rookie believed it. Every single time. The algorithm was brilliant. It always showed someone smiling, someone successful, someone holding stacks of cash, someone saying, this changed my life. But Rookie noticed something strange. Nobody ever uploaded videos called Day 143, Still Figuring This Out. Nobody posted, Today I earned $4.73. Progress. Success was everywhere. The struggle was invisible. Psychologists call this survivorship bias. Imagine a room with 100 people trying a side hustle. 95 quietly struggle. 4 make a little money. 1 becomes wildly successful. Guess who gets recommended on YouTube? The one. Not because they're lying, because success is more interesting to watch. Our brains make a simple mistake. We assume if we see successful people everywhere, success must be common, but we're only seeing the survivors, not everyone else. It's like watching the winners cross the finish line without seeing the thousands who stopped halfway. Financial Rookie hadn't been comparing himself. to reality. He'd been comparing himself to highlight reels, and highlight reels are terrible teachers. Something changed. For the first time all week, Rookie stopped opening new tabs. He closed them, one by one. 27 dreams, reduced to one. Looking back, Rookie realized he'd spent more time planning to become productive than actually being productive. He owned 3 productivity apps, 2 online courses, 4 notebooks, a standing desk, a better chair, blue light glasses, a motivational mug, noise-canceling headphones, a desktop wallpaper that said, "Hustle." And somehow, despite all this equipment, the only thing he'd successfully produced was an extremely organized way to procrastinate. If productivity could be purchased, Rookie would have been unstoppable. Unfortunately, Amazon doesn't sell discipline. Yet, everything became very quiet. For the first time all week, Rookie wasn't searching for shortcuts. He was thinking, really thinking. Maybe the problem wasn't the side hustles. Maybe the problem was believing they were supposed to be easy.